Welcome back. Last night, Hinterland announced some big news that I'm really excited about, and that I'm sure a lot of you are really excited about. The Long Dark 2, Blackfrost. So this is going to be a relatively short video. What I want to do is just go through some of the details that we have from the Steam page. There is a trailer right here, as you can see. You can watch that on your own. I'll put a link to that. Bashrobe also has a trailer analysis video already up, so I also recommend checking that, and I'll link to that in the description. There's also this post from Hinterland, and so I want to start here, and then we'll go to the Steam page and look at some of the details and just talk about what we can expect. Today we share the first glimpse into the future of the Long Dark. After 10 years of developing the first game, this is a big moment for the team. While we complete the final episode of our Wintermute story mode slated for release in 2025, we wanted to use the platform of the Game Awards as an opportunity to share our vision for the future of survival games. We call it Blackfrost, and it's the sequel to The Long Dark. That's so exciting to me. We thought that we were going to. They said that they had other projects in the works, and there was a little bit of panic about, like, oh, well, is The Long Dark going to continue to be supported, etc. And I just didn't see this coming, that it would be The Long Dark 2. Years ago, I asked myself what the future of The Long Dark could look like. Despite pouring everything we have into that game, I still felt there were things I wanted to do with the setting, the mechanics, but also things that just aren't possible within the current game. I knew we'd have to build something new with foundations that could support our grand vision. When we started The Long Dark, we had no idea we'd be building it and supporting the community for 10 years. With Blackfrost, we asked ourselves, what if we started a project as though we knew it would last for 10 years, or even longer? What different decisions might we make? I think this is something that a lot of people, especially newer players, tend to overlook, is that they've been updating this game for a decade now. I think you really get your money's worth with this purchase. The game is not that expensive, and they've done so many things that are beyond what they thought and what we all thought the game could actually handle. Okay, back to the description. Blackfrost builds on a decade of construction, experimentation, and community-informed development of an experience we love dearly. It expands beyond the egocentrism of the Long Dark and asks you not how far you will go to survive, but how far will you go to survive for others. The others could be other players in co-op, but also other survivors in the world, NPC communities hiding out from the dangers of the Aurora, the radioactive Black Frost, and a whole host of threats they experience in the city of Harmont and the vast wilderness surrounding it. What new scenarios, gameplay mechanics, and stories could such a setting inspire? We aren't saying too much more about Blackfrost at this point, as we're focused on completing our obligations around the Long Dark 1, but we hope this early look is compelling and exciting for you. We hope to enlist you in the coming months and years in helping us build the future of survival games. Blackfrost won't launch until 2026, so this is a very early moment in time for the project. And for those of you who have grown up with The Long Dark over the years, Blackfrost is not the end. It is only the beginning of the next chapter. We see both The Long Dark 1 and Blackfrost coexisting for a long time, with each game having a distinct point of view around the quiet apocalypse. They will be complementary, preserving the investment of time and money you have put into TLD over the years. Awesome. Love to hear it. But with Blackfrost, we are pushing our philosophy and vision for survival forward in ways we could have never believed possible when we first launched TLD back in 2014. We can't wait to show you more of what we're building. We hope you're as excited as we are. I am. For now, please take a moment in your busy day to enjoy this view into the new world we are creating for you. I think it is as beautiful as it is dangerous, full of adventure, mystery, and opportunity, a place you want to survive in. Live together or die alone. Welcome to the world of Blackfrost. Raphael von Lierup, creative director of Hinterland. People are having all sorts of reactions to this live together or die alone. Most of it is just hype, pure hype. But some people also wonder, will it be feasible to survive on your own? Will this be a sort of solo possible game, or do you really need to do the multiplayer? No idea. I don't think we have nearly enough information to figure that out right now. All right, so here's the store page for Blackfrost in Steam. First, we have some screenshots. Looks like we might have melee weapons. Game. I wonder if this is a bit of mending here, if that sort of thing is visible. Scope on the rifle. This urban environment is really interesting. This is something we don't really have in the Long Dark right now. I'm excited for these new environments. Okay, some wilderness. I'll take it. This is really similar to a teaser image they posted a while back, maybe a year or two ago, when they announced a new game. And we really had no idea what that game was going to be based on that image. I remember seeing the piano and all those rich accents. The Aurora is looking super cool, a little bit fuzzier for some reason. Nice little cozy cabin. That's it for the screenshot. So let's see what details we have here. A year after the Aurora's appearance and the world went dark, the people of Harmont and its vast wild environs struggled to survive the quiet apocalypse. Survive alone or with others against a host of new hazards and a fresh new survival sandbox from a pioneer of the genre. Live together, die alone. Oh, it's not even a disjunction anymore. Live together or die alone. It's just both. Live together, die alone. Coming soon to early access, so that's 2026, I think. About this game. Let's check this out. Blackfrost The Long Dark 2 is the sequel to the hit survival game The Long Dark, launched in early access and honed over 10 years of open development. It is the evolution of the survival sandbox, refining every aspect of the original and introducing co-op to the formula, conceived of and developed by Hinterland, the same creative team that brought you the original. Brave New World. Experience the quiet apocalypse as survivors in the northern industrial city of Harmont and its vast environs. A year has passed since the Aurora first appeared in the sky, rendering all technology inert, with survivors just starting to emerge to face their new reality and its aftermath. Surrounded by a majestic, rugged wilderness, encounter the remnants of an isolated society still coming to terms with how the world has just been changed forever. How will you choose to survive? So this is a year after the Aurora first appeared. So if you've been playing a survival file for a while, Will or Astrid could still be kicking around. But this does look like it's a totally different environment. I suspect it's still in Canada. Some people are suggesting maybe Alaska, but looks like something like that. Live together, die alone. Survive as a lone wanderer in this frozen wasteland of city, town, forest, and farm, or huddle together as a group of survivors in whatever shelter you can make for yourselves. As solo players, decide how much you'll learn to live with NPC survivor communities, struggling to find their way in this harsh world. As co-op players, lean on each other and combine your skills and efforts to eke out another day of existence in the hostile environment. Alone or together, choose your own path to survival. It says, as solo players, decide how much you'll learn to live with NPC survivor communities. As co-op, lean on each other. That could mean that maybe whether or not there are NPC survivor communities, maybe that depends on whether you're playing solo or not. I doubt that. It's probably just a way of saying what kinds of resources are available to solo players, but I bet they're going to be NPC survivor communities regardless of your choice. The next generation survival RPG, built on the foundation of survival gameplay pioneered and perfected by the Long Dark over 10 plus years of development, Blackfrost evolves every aspect of the survival formula to its 2.0 iteration, setting the table for the next generation of survival games. Build your own survivor, so that's interesting. I guess you can make your own character. It's not like Will or Astrid, you choose them, but you can make them. Customize traits and skills. Okay, don't know what traits are outside of appearance, but maybe something like a perk system or a trait system, kind of like in Fallout or something, where you choose some traits at the beginning of the game, maybe some positive effects, maybe some negative effects. There's probably some sort of budget there, and skills. Collect scars and stories, and experience a life as a survivor in this beautiful yet dangerous world. Many games have tried to bring survival mechanics to their open world RPGs, but Black Frost is the first survival game built ground up as a survival RPG. So it's an RPG of some kind. That could mean a lot of things. I mean, it's such a broad concept, like a role-playing game, but it probably means there's some sort of character development system, and that makes sense if we're talking about customizing traits and skills. And that also usually smooths over co-op a bit, right? If no one character can do everything, then that incentivizes working together. But I wonder how solo play will interface with that. Like they might just be two totally different modes. I wonder if the character progression is different in both. Because in solo play, you have to rely just on yourself and on NPCs. That might make a difference if you can't do everything. Urban survival. Experience the fantasy of wilderness survival at a 19th century level of technology due to the Aurora's effects on the world and its inhabitants, and enjoy the same deep simulation of survival in nature from the Long Dark, but with a new twist. Cities and towns offer new opportunities and new hazards to your survival, introducing a fresh take on the established survival formula. The wilds are dangerous, but sometimes the city is where the real threats lie. That's interesting. I wonder why. This looks like somebody carrying a deer, and so I wonder if that's something we'll be able to do, or if that's just art. The will to live. Survival is as much about what's in your head as what's in your pack. With Blackfrost, your success is no longer just about your physical condition. Blackfrost's new will to live system adds elements of psychological survival to the mix, introducing resilience and its substats to the well-established mechanics. Manage your doubts and fears and find comfort in the small things if you want to survive. That's really interesting. So I wonder if it's going to be kind of like Darkest Dungeon or something like this. I like psychological survival elements. In the trailer, which I recommend you watch, right? If you haven't watched it yet, just stop this video and go watch it. But in the trailer, there's a scene where a bunch of characters, presumably player characters, but I don't know, it looks more like a cutscene based on how they react to their environment. But there's a bunch of people sitting around a fire, and one of them is playing a guitar. And I wonder if that's something that can improve your mental well-being or something like that. New hazards, urban risks, the deep freeze of an intense northern winter, extreme weather events, aurora storms, and the dreaded radioactive Blackfrost emitted by the reactor complex looming on the horizon. Layered on the dangers from wildlife and other survivors you encounter along the way, Blackfrost introduces a whole host of new hazards to the survival sandbox. That's really interesting. I wonder if they're going to build on what they did with radiation in the zone of contamination. I doubt it'll be exactly the same, but I bet it'll be something like that. Perma-life. That's a weird thing to say. The innovative perma-life system turns every death into a new adventure. Accumulate new risks and fears for your survivor as you move through the world and succumb to various hazards. Face your fears, overcome their downsides, and strengthen your survivor's story. In the world, make your mark. Classic permadeath is still an option. It's strange to advertise perma-life, I guess maybe to distinguish themselves from the Long Dark. It says classic permadeath is still an option, so I don't know how that system's going to work. It can't be entirely like the cheat death mechanic, right? Because that's not perma. You only get so many chances. Early access. Blackfrost is being built up using early access to maximize the player feedback loop and the team's ability to iterate in a cycle of constant improvement. This builds on Hinterland's long-standing reputation as a pioneer of the early access model, with The Long Dark being the first game to exist simultaneously on multiple early access platforms and on PC and console at the same time. Wow, I did not realize that. That's really cool. It was the first game to do that. Xbox Game Preview launch title in 2015. Similarly, Blackfrost will be built a piece at a time and will launch without the game's complete planned world or feature set. We believe this is the ideal approach to work towards strength and community, informed iteration and development, but it's not for everyone, so please make sure you are comfortable with this approach before you jump in. More details of how the team plans to handle roadmaps, timelines, and player feedback will be released closer to the launch. So it looks like that's basically everything we have. If you haven't watched that trailer yet, go watch it. Bashrobe also has a video where he gives an analysis of the trailer. I'm really excited about this. When I heard about this last night, I was crawling out of my skin. I couldn't wait until today to record this and go through the Steam page and see what could be gleaned from the little information we have right now. I'm really going to be looking forward to this, and I imagine many of you are as well. If you like this, please leave a like. If you have any comments about what you want to see in this game, what your hopes are for Blackfrost, please leave that in the comment section. And if you're looking forward to my normal content, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so that way you will not miss out on anything I do there. Thanks a lot for your time, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye-bye.